Go.
Hey folks, Chris here with a special video live from Malta Dynamics. So, it's been quite the whirlwind, 5 years, Malta Dynamics, doing all this stuff, doing fall and safety products here in Ohio. Of course, one of our claims to fame is the XSERIES mobile grabber. And even after 5 years, we still get that question a bit of what exactly is a mobile grabber. So, we're actually driving in. We're going to actually do a demo for one for you live today for those folks who haven't been able to have us come out and see them. So, what the XSERIES mobile grabber is it's a mobile engineered fall protection system. So, we've done all the engineering. You come in, you set it up, and boom, you have a tie-off point. So, if you've been on many job sites, we've all been there. You show up, I got to do work, but what the heck do I tie off to, right? So, here's a unit you can pull on site. We're just driving in a half-ton pickup, as you can see, towing a XSERIES mobile grabber. We're going to pull it up on here. We're going to back it into position. The guys out here are going to unhook us, and then they got a couple of units out here, plus the one I'm towing. We're going to get them set up. You'll actually see how they work in action. So, I got the guys out here. We're going to pull up here. I'll back this unit into place. They'll unhook us and they'll show you what it's like to actually use one of these. So we got units for kind of every budget. We got units that go as low as 22 feet. We got units that go up to 35 feet. Anywhere from 2 guys all the way up to 5 guys, depending on the option package you got. So I'll just back this in here. Almost there. There we go. As you can see, we got the XSERIES. Guys are going to unhook us back here. Won't take but a second. You'll see how quickly you can get it set up and actually see one of these, or actually 2 of these, in action. So, pretty cool. So, appreciate you guys tuning in for this live today during your lunchtime. Let's see. Yeah, looks like they're unhooked. All right. If you want to step out, they're going to show you what this thing does.
Hello, I'm Greg Brown. Thanks for joining us today. We're live on Facebook and we're demonstrating some of our equipment. This particular machine is the XSERIES mobile grabber. It's the X1250. It is a 3-person portable fall arrest system. So what that means, we have 3 anchor points on here. They're both 5,000 pound anchor points. All 3 are 5,000 pound anchor points. And we can attach a worker up to 420 pounds on each anchor point. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the machine and what it does. So you notice this thing's bright orange. It's all steel construction. It's made right here in Malta, Ohio. We have a mast that works on hydraulic cylinders, but the engine is actually powered by a battery. So there's no combustion engine. So if you're working inside of a factory or a place where you have controls over things like that, there's no engine that's running. You'll see some fork pockets here. You'll also see that we can lift this with a crane. So there's really, in addition to being able to tow it down the highway, we have those methods that you can move it around as well. In this box right here is 2,200 pounds of concrete. What that means is that gives us the right geometry to be able to arrest a fall of up to 3 workers at 420 pounds each. Now that depends on your gear, your harness, and your SRL are going to have to support that weight, but we can get into that as well. We have this unit equipped with some accessories. We've got a wireless drive system. We have a rescue and retrieval self-retracting lifeline for confined space. What we're going to do right now is show you how this thing goes up in the air. These first 2 cylinders operate off the same action, and they have safety devices at the bottom of it. So if you would have a fluid loss in the middle of working, this machine is not going to come down on you. It's going to stay straight up in the air unless it's even got 1 drop of fluid in it. So as we go up, you can see we have these 3 anchor points. We have this line attached to it, and what we've done is this is called the R1000. What we've done is used a confined space rescue retrieval block, much like is used in a tripod. And we've equipped it to work with this mobile grabber. And what that does, allows you to work in fall protection. It also allows you to do confined space retrieval and rescue. So if you have somebody and you're going downhole or you're going into a confined space, you can retrieve that person, you can crank them up or you can crank them down, whichever way is the best and safest for the worker. So we also have this extension. It goes an additional 60 inches out farther. So that gives you a lot of options as far as your reach. It lets you hook that anchor point in places that you just really can't get anything else. So what we're going to do now, we have this one, an X1250, we have an X1240, which is a 2-person system. We have an X1260, which is a 5-person system, and they're very similar to this. but we have a brand new member of the X-Series family, and it's the X1000. We have our engineer David Ivey, and he's already hooked up and already sitting on top of a fall hazard. And he's going to talk to you a little bit about our newest machine.
Hi guys, this is David here with Malta Dynamics. Today I'm hooked up to the X1000. Hooked up to I have a Malta Dynamics B2202 Comfort Max harness on, hooked up to a Warthog self-retracting Lifeline. Now a little more about the unit here. This unit is completely manual. It's operated by a hand pump. So your guys get on a job site, all it is hand pump cranked up, no batteries required, no combustion engine. This unit is good for 2 people, it's completely road towable. It's only 2,200 pounds in the whole unit is 2,200 pounds. So it doesn't take a heavy forklift or a crane to move around. However, we do have forklift pockets on it, as well as crane picks. All right, I'm gonna send it back over to Greg with the X1250.
Hey, so what I'm doing right now is I'm positioning the anchor point to where we need to be working on top of our hazard. And our hazard right now is it's a dumpster, but it could be a lot of things. If you think about it, it could be a rail car, it could be a shipping container, it could be a flatbed that you're unloading. So there's a lot of different opportunities for this thing to work, and generally we don't sell one unless somebody's going to use it for at least 3 to 4 to 5 different things, even if they buy it for just one. So we're going to ask you to use your imagination a little bit here while we do this demonstration, and we're going to move this thing into position. So we've got our anchor point very high, and when you're working with anchor points, height is your friend. So what we're going to do now, we're going to use the mobile drive system. That's the M1000 option. We're going to move this thing into position. Now I can move this thing around while the mast is up, as long as I'm not hooked up to the machine. When I get hooked up to the machine, I have to make sure that all 4 jacks are on the ground and we're within 2 degrees of level in each direction. We have sight levels on the machine to help us achieve that. And once I get my anchor point exactly where I want, which is about right there, then I'm good to go ahead, strap in, and get up and go to work. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to make sure that these jacks are on the ground and level. Also, we've got tail lights, 4-way stops, and all that stuff. We also have a Runaway brake controller. In case you would lose control of this machine, it's going to go ahead and stop for you alongside of the road. All right, so at this point, I've achieved level. We've got all jacks on the ground, and I'm going to go ahead and hook up and climb on top of my fall hazard. When using a self-retracting Lifeline, always want to use a tag line. Simply attach this to your dorsal ring, and at this point, I'm already protected from a fall. So we know that the rule in general industry here in the state of Ohio and in most of the country is 4 feet. I'm not 4 feet yet, but I'm already protected, so that's very nice. This hazard here is about 6 feet tall. I'm gonna go ahead and climb on top of it. So my feet are a little more than 4 feet off the ground. What we allow is 30 degrees off the anchor point for you to move around. And at this point, where my anchor point is, I can probably walk to the middle of this dumpster on the edge and know that I'm within spec to use this machine. And if I fall, my fall will be arrested. Right now, there's nothing that can do what this thing can do like we can do it. So we're gonna hang around, and we're gonna answer a few questions for you. But this is how this thing works. We've got the X1250 and the X1000. And I'm gonna climb down here and we're gonna read some questions offline. Our marketing manager, Jane, is behind the camera. She's gonna read me any questions that we have. How we got, Jane?
Good. So we have a question. What industry would this be good for?
It's easier to say what industry wouldn't it be good for. We have people that clean gutters with it on commercial buildings. We actually have the folks at the 9/11 Memorial use it to clean the surfaces there at the memorial and the footprints of the old World Trade Center buildings. We have aviation uses it so it doesn't hit the wings because your anchor point and your cable are overhead. We've got rail cars. We have heavy equipment manufacturers, a lot of other manufacturers, and generally military in general does a really good amount of work with this as well. So basically, if you can get something like this in, or something like that in, you can work with this. And if we don't have a solution in one of these mobile systems, we do all the engineered systems in-house as well.
Okay. Another question is, can I see one live?
Yeah, certainly. If seeing it live on video is not your thing, get on our website, fill out a demo request, and somebody will be in contact with you today, and we'll schedule something for you. So it looks like that's all the questions. We may have one late.
One more. How many people could be tied off on the X1000 or the X1250?
Okay, so I'll go through all the models and how many tie-offs that we do. I also do maximum height. We have the X1000. David, he's still hanging out up here for us. If we look at the anchor points, we've got a self-retracting lifeline hooked up to one anchor point, and we do have room for another. So David and somebody else could be working on it at the same time. Important thing to know is that these anchor point capacities, it's one per anchor point, but you can use both of them at the same time. You don't have to use an either or. So there's the X1000. It's 2 users, maximum of 22 feet tall. We have an X1240. It's 30 feet tall, maximum of 2 users. And if we look up, it's the exact same machine as this, but it does not have that last extension. So you see those 2 anchor points, that's where the X1240 ends. Other than that, it's the exact same, it's a little bit lighter. This is the X1250. It's a 3-person system, 1 per anchor point. And the X1260 is a 5-person system. So where you have those anchor points, where you have 2, the X1260 has 3, and where we have 1, the X1260 has 2. The only difference is that on the X1260, the maximum weight per anchor point is 310 pounds, where the X1240 and X1250 are 420.
Okay. Do you have to have a full-size pickup for the X1000?
You should have a full-size pickup. Now there is, depends on the year of your truck, what your towing capacities are, and you'll have to look that up. But Chris, our president, was just using a new Chevy half-ton pickup truck, and it does really well. The machine itself, the X1250, weighs 5,900 pounds. So you want to check with your truck and see what it tows, and also see your capability of towing. So just check your pickup truck. Most times your half-ton will pull it.
Someone's asking, where are we located?
We're actually in Malta, Ohio, which is southeast Ohio. We're along the Muskingum River. We're south of Zanesville. So we're kind of in the bottom corner of Ohio.
Any big companies buying the X Series right
There's
now?
a lot of big companies buying the X Series. I didn't call each one of them and ask if I could use their names, but rest assured, we've got a lot of big players using this for fall protection.
Mm-hmm.
You can email me and I'll tell you.
Perfect. How would someone get in contact with you to get more information or order these?
Well, we have a great website, and there's different ways that you can submit to be contacted on there. It's maltadynamics.com. You can click the drop down for X Series. You can request a quote. You can request a demonstration, and a lot of other things. You can even just info@maltadynamics, or you can email me at gbrown@maltadynamics.com, or David is divy@maltadynamics.com.
And then last question, do you have to purchase these or the harness equipment directly through Malta Dynamics, or are there other options?
Well, there's a lot of options. You can get these pretty much anywhere that you prefer to buy. We do sell these direct to people, and something that maybe that they didn't ask, but we rent these as well. So we have a rental fleet. We have some all across the country. We actually have 3 or 4 of them out right now. We have a couple of our great dealers that have them too. Okay, so it seems like that's all the questions. Somebody monitors this Facebook page all the time, so if you have any questions and you didn't get to jot down the email addresses or anything like that, you can just leave a comment on the Facebook page. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope that this was informative, and if this is not enough, we'll come to your place and do it too, or we'll set up something like this just as a one-on-one to where we can talk back and forth, and I can make it do all the tricks and things like that. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good and safe day.